Hello guys, news update number 39. So you would have noticed the Darbar movement, which is a 149-year-old Jammu and Kashmir tradition, has been stopped. Okay, it's concluded, and official statements are coming out from the Lieutenant Governor there. So it actually saves rupees 150 crore or nearly 200 crore as per certain newspapers every year. Okay, every year this much money has been being wasted because of certain procedural mistakes. So we'll see what is this Darbar movement and what's the new update. Okay, regarding this, the Jammu and Kashmir. These are two different news items, 2020 and 21. Jammu and Kashmir High Court has asked the centre and the Union Territory administration to take a final call on the continuation of Darbar move, the 148-year-old practice of shifting capitals annually between Srinagar and Jammu. Okay, so this is a 2020 news and 21 news now. Recently, last week it came. 149-year-old tradition of capital shifting in Jammu and Kashmir concludes. Okay, so we'll discuss what is this. If you see in Jammu and Kashmir, okay, now this top area is Ladakh area, and below we have the Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory. So there itself, they have two capitals. One is Jammu, the winter capital, and Srinagar, the summer capital. So movement happens, meaning when the offices, the civil secretariat office, the collectorate office, all these official government people, okay, even judiciary, everyone will sit here usually in May month to October month, okay, in summer month, and then November month when the winter starts, okay, then the roads, tunnels, everything used to be blocked, and here it is little like not bearable, okay, to people to live there. So they everyone will shift with their entire documents, all computers, files, all the government things, even sensitive documents, everything is like in hundreds of trucks and cars and all, they take and come till here. Okay, and from November to April, this is where they function. Okay, so this was being happening since more than 148 years now. And if you see here, 52 offices to be moved, thousands of government documents, 200 trucks, 15,000 paid as travel allowance to every employee. So you can calculate like this, it was like 100 crore, 200 crore rupees are wasted every year. Okay, so you can see, can you imagine your city's secretariat or government office to be filled with trucks like this? But this is how Jammu and Kashmir office looks like on that particular date. Okay, and see, these are the employees' vehicles. Okay, and this much fuel, this much extra TA charge, DA charge, many things are given to these people, and this was happening. Okay, like if you the dates, April 28th, the last working day in Jammu, and then 30th, the convoy will leave Jammu, and May 8th, the reopening of offices in Srinagar. Okay, this is what used to happen. Okay, so this is exactly what I told, only the dates. Okay, May till October, late October in Srinagar, summer capital, and Jammu, the winter capital, in first week of November till next April. Now, who started this? This was reportedly started in the late 19th century by Ranbir Singh, who was actually the monarch, the king Maharaja of that time in Jammu and Kashmir, who used to shift his capital between Srinagar in the summer and Jammu in the winter to escape extreme weather conditions in these places. Okay, it was those days. Obviously, it was they were not having that much facilities or things to survive in those kind of conditions. Okay, and in some newspapers, you will see the Dogra monarch Maharaja Gulab Singh is believed to have started this. But both the newspapers agree on the year, okay, 1872. So we just have to check whether the timeline of these people match so that we can confirm who actually started it. So if you go and check the Wikipedia, Ranbir Singh, his timeline is okay. This is his, I think, the reign time. The actual time will be here. Okay, here 18. Yeah, same thing only. 1856 to 1885. Okay, when he was the king. Okay, and this is 1872 when this thing started. Okay, this practice. So we can fix that one because Gulab Singh's timeline is much before that. He was the founder of the Dogra dynasty. Okay, in Jammu, and his son is Ranbir Singh. So Ranbir Singh is the one who started. So you don't believe these newspapers. Okay, some newspapers are going on quoting this Gulab Singh, but he is the father of the one who started this. Okay, now, if you see, Ranbir Singh is also famous for various other things. Okay, this Ranbir Penal Code, which used to be there, like we have Indian Penal Code, they used to have Ranbir Penal Code, which again, when the Article 370 was abolished or taken away, this also went away. Else, they had their own penal code to go through during the police cases and judicial cases. Okay, and he is famous for many other things: the shawl industry and the political prisoners, the civil criminal systems. Everywhere he had put reforms. Okay, silk factory. Okay, so you have to know, in history point of view, you have to study a lot of things about him. Now, the tradition was continued after 1947 by the political class, as it acted as a major bridge and space for interaction between the two diverse linguistic and cultural group of Kashmir and Jammu. So they're telling like this will be bridging the gap between two different cultures. So you can see this kind of people. Okay, people are taking, old men are there. All these people take these boxes of files, important government documents. Okay, see, like a TV kind of box, computers, all these things they take and go. Okay, hundreds of trucks are used, and 8,000 to 9,000 employees working in civil secretariat with headquarters in Jammu and Srinagar would move with twice a year, because 6 months, and this whole office has to be reset up there, meaning the exchequer will be charged close to 200 crore rupees. Okay, so regional parties in Jammu and Kashmir also supported this, that this should be continued because of the two diverse linguistic cultural people can be like here also you have a secretariat, there also a secretariat, so it will be a cultural bridge between those two. Okay, now the ill effects, okay, for your exam sake and all, it result in wastage of tremendous amount of time, efforts and energy on inefficient and unnecessary activity. Then security forces are required because these are sensitive government documents you are carrying here and there. Okay, so that charges are there. Then the judicial system, judicial cases, either wrong verdicts will come because of wrong data and wrong files, or delay will be there because they'll tell some of the files are there or some of the files are here. So that kind of thing will happen. Then because it's sensitive document and you're carrying like this papers through this kind of truck and all, what if an accident happens or some fire happens, something happens, this much documents will be burnt. Okay, so 300-kilometer travel is there between these two places twice a year. So this is a very serious issue. And then apart from these expenses, as I told, they'll be given this travel fares, TA, DA. Each employee will be given a lot of things. And on top of that, accommodation is given. Both places, you have guest houses. You go there, you have residents to stay. You come here, you have residents to stay for these many 8,000, 9,000 people. So imagine how much expenses are taking from the taxpayers' money. Okay, so these are the general ill effects. Now, whether this was protested before, okay, so protest was not there, but criticizing was there. Many people told like this is like a lot of money is getting involved, so we have to stop this. But problem is public actually supported this. Public actually liked this because it is generating economic activity. You know, these people, youth, like travel wing, the transport people, these people are all getting jobs because of this. They are getting revenue for shifting things. Okay, so they were enjoying this because when secretariat comes there, the nearby shops, the nearby areas, all these people will be gaining economically. Okay, and there was a 45-day long strike in Jammu, and then that time's chief minister had to withdraw the decision of this thing, and this permanently they had to keep this one, like two secretariat, one here and one there. Okay, then in 2020 only, after this Digital India and all these things came, the chief secretary BVR Subramaniam, he thought of this digital thing, rolling out e-office in the moving departments. So government of Jammu and Kashmir e-office. So paperless systems will come. Everything will be now in laptops and internet. So you don't need to take this much documents and go here and there. Okay, so that thing started, which was a first step, which was a good step. And now to High Court in 2020. Okay, High Court in Srinagar, they told like we should discontinue this because it burdens the exchequer. So they told few good points that if the practice was rationalized, the amount of money, resource and time could be saved, which could be utilized towards the welfare and development of the union territory, which has otherwise witnessed much turmoil. Okay, and it could be utilized for protection and propagation of the culture. So you can build a lot of cultural things also there, education for them. Many things can be done with this money. And also last year what happened is, for the first time, this movement could not happen because of the COVID situation. So again, this money can be diverted towards that. By stopping this, you can divert the money towards that and build hospitals or oxygen supply. All these things can be done. Now, finally, if you see here, Jammu and Kashmir LG, the Lieutenant Governor, he announced on June 20 that the UT administration has ended the practice of the biannual Darbar move. Okay, and on June 30, he have sent a notice to all those people who have accommodations there, like vacate all these places and go back to your respective place. If you are from Jammu, go there. If you are from Srinagar, go there. So work in that places alone, and within 21 days, you have to go out of that place. You have to vacate their accommodation, okay, which is given as government guest houses, because now both Jammu and Srinagar can function normally for 12 months. Okay, now tunnels are built, roads are built. Now it's not like because of the snowfall you have to shut down these things. That things are not there. Only in certain areas of Ladakh it is there, and there are also a lot of new infrastructures coming. Okay, in terms of infrastructure, I think this government has done much better than all the other governments. So in few months time, again, entire Ladakh also will be an all-weather kind of city. Okay, where tourists can come throughout the year. Else now, if you see, you cannot go all the time. Okay, it's shut down. The city is shut down for some months. So that and all is going to change. So this is the news item. I hope you understood the full issue. Okay, and if any more doubts, you can ask me. And one thing is, the decision of this thing, does it change the capital status, like whether Srinagar and Jammu is still the summer capital and winter capital, or they have just one capital? That thing government has not clarified. Okay, we still don't know what is that, like is it a single capital or two capital? Okay, on that note, I'll ask you a question so that you can tell in comment section what is the capital of each of these cities. You can tell, because most people misunderstand some other city to be its capital. So you can tell both the things, what is the original capital and what is the city which is misunderstood as its capital. Okay, you can tell this in comment section. I'll wind up this video. Thank you and have a nice day.